Hi, everybody. Griffin Cooper here at Ablewaytech. It's March 26th, 2025, and I wanted to make this video. A friend of mine who I saw today, asked me, I hope the correction's over in the market. Do you think the correction, is over? And so we were kind of just giving our viewpoints, and, my short answer was no. I didn't think it was, and I want to kind of explain why that's my standpoint until I get hopefully proven otherwise, which would be great. But for something like this that's happening, I just look to the charts. I don't want to. For me, I'm a chartist. I'm not looking at fundamentals and other things. I think that the answer is all in the charts. So one of the places I start for something like an outlook like this is the weekly chart. So this is a bar chart of the SPY on the weekly. I like SPY because then I can get the volume too. And the main things that I've seen is this is a logarithmic chart, technically semi-logarithmic. Right? The time obviously isn't, but the price is, which I think creates some good, better, effective trend lines. And this was certainly a valid trend line. We had one, two, three, almost four, five touches of it. So it was a confirmed valid trend line. Then we had a definitive break of the trend line back on this bar. Furthermore, when that happened, this was and I made a video back in October of where this double top was starting to happen, and when this top happened, the markets was showing both on the daily and the weekly double negative divergences. But what I want to just point out here is the obvious double top here, right? We had the one and the two top, and then this neckline here, and price definitively broke the neckline 3 weeks ago. And so for me, the target for that would be that same amount down. So to me, I'm looking at the target down here of about 534.24. So until this price gets broken back to the upside and closes above that, I still see this now as just a retest of the neckline. And I'm still looking at a target then down here at about 533 or so. I guess 533, 534, something like that. And so that's kind of how I'm seeing. And the thing about this neckline break was that when this happened, we also had an increase in volume, which is more confirmation that this was an important break of that double top with this increase in volume down here. So that's one thing I'm looking at. So that's one thing I'm looking at. On the other, if we go even farther out to get a more long-term perspective, here's a monthly chart on a logarithmic scale as well with the clear trend lines here. And we can see with this one, if we're looking for a pullback on the monthly, which seems to happen every few years or so, if we're due for that, that could happen this year, and that would come all the way back to around 500. So this is nothing on a monthly chart. If we go now to our candlesticks with some dynamic support of the moving averages, this is a weekly chart as well, showing that same double top, but we can see here there is some support at the 50, and I feel like that's probably the last gasp here, is if it can hold this support at the 50 on the weekly chart, then maybe it has a chance of bouncing back up and closing above the neckline. And then I will change my viewpoint that it is not going to fail down further, but could at least be consolidating and not continuing the down move. The daily chart, I think, is very hard to read right now, and this is why, because it's really a broadening formation. It's this kind of megaphone pattern, which is notoriously difficult to predict. It's also playing around with the 200, which makes it even more kind of bumpy and bruisey. So I find this very very tough to say what's going to happen based on that daily chart. The only other thing I wanted to show was perhaps maybe the easiest market condition to read would just be using the Kata challenge pattern. So this is a daily chart where I use the Kata challenge patterns of the daily chart to kind of inform very short term market conditions. And what we've had is we had a harsh winter and then an SSE triggered, but it's not particularly working right now. It's under our entry. So that doesn't look too good. But if this starts to work, then, if this keeps making higher highs, then I will say, for the very short term kind of intraday trading, you could have perhaps a long perspective. But long term, I'm looking at the weekly and saying, until this neckline finds finds a close above it, I'm looking for a return, a target down here around 534.24. So happy trading, and hope that was helpful.